Oakland, mine. I grab the AK and break it apart. Look out the windows in my jets, man, it's breaking my heart. This ain't life. This ain't living. The roll of the dice, either dead or in prison, but I'm...
Peace, y'all. It's Amani Jade and my bae.
Najee AM.
On this 30-day bae challenge brought to you by the Oakland.
Mine.
Thanks for joining our listening journey where we're reviewing one album a day, highlighting our diverse bae talent, creating appreciation, inspiration, and pride because we do what?
Show love the Bay way.
Very nice.
30 days, one Bay Area album a day. Subscribe now and stay with us. And welcome to day 18, the Jacka Ampichino's Devilz Rejectz 36 Zipz.
R.I.P. the Jack, and now a word from our sponsors.
Water, water, coming straight out the water, just like the ocean, but more like river. My fam dripping. It's that.
That was beautiful. And now, more beauty, music, the man, the album. Can you give us the Carfax?
So, a little bit about Jacka. We claim him in Oakland, but he got roots in Pittsburgh. He also converted to Islam and changed his name to Shahid Akbar around the age of 18.
Wow.
He got to start with the mob figures, shout out Sibo, and he owned his own label, the Artist Records.
Nice.
He produced numerous records with dozens of artists, including an extensive collection with the Husalah.
Hustler.
He's loved throughout the Bay, as well as lots of love nationally. Again, R.I.P. Jacka. And a little bit about his partner in this album, Ampichino. He's from Akron, Ohio, but he came to California and became a part of the regime with Yuckmouth. He also has songs that are featured on the movie Hostel. And he also got a large collection of music. It seems like brothers in the streets, in the street life, when they get into rap, they go hard.
Serving the raps.
And this album is the first in a 3-part series. So if you like it, check out Devilz Rejectz 2 and Devilz Rejectz 3. Now let's go ahead and get into the sounds.
There are some real slaps. I mean, musically, the sound of it in this album, like the song Drop Top, Family First. I appreciate this collaboration between the Jacka and Ampichino and the other voices that come through, especially the sampled vocals in songs like Stars, Family First, Mystery. They use a lot of sampled vocals throughout the project, but I also like the featured singers, like in the song Try and in the song Lifetime. They do something interesting in Phone Call with the twist on their creativity. It's a conversation between Amp and Jack, and Amp is calling from jail, and there's this voice effect to make it sound like he's really down. I don't think he was.
But you never know.
But you never know. I've heard true jail calls. I think it's just a really cool way to be creative, and hopefully he wasn't actually in jail, but who knows.
And they both have been in jail.
They've both been down, for sure. The writing can get really deep and poetic. The song Stars really shows that. And they're just dope rappers.
Yeah, they are. As far as their lyrical abilities, both of these dudes are really high caliber lyricists. The way that they rhyme, the way that they layer their cadences, and the way that they also bounce off each other. I think that this project really shines because both of them are kind of on the same level as far as lyricism. And when you hear Ampichino spit and when you hear the Jacka spit, there's really no lapses in the quality of bars that you get. And they each have really dope and strong lines in this piece as well. And speaking of quality of bars, let's go ahead and get into the messages of the music.
The project itself and the things that they're talking about, which we're about to go into, it reminds me of a song by the Jacka that's not on here, and it's called Gangsta's Gangster. Or the line in the song he has with Huslin where he says, I make music for killers that make music. It's not like, oh, I lived this life and now I'm a rapper. It's I lived this life and now I'm a rapper on top of it and I'm rapping about it. Jack actually says in one of his songs, I let it game, then the streets and the rapper come after. And if he was so prolific in writing all these songs and putting out all this music, obviously that was coming along with everything else he was doing. He never really stopped. So in the intro, there's a reference of this crazy movie about this family that's just a killer family. They're depraved in their dysfunction.
And I think that's actually from the Devilz Rejectz movie by Rob Zombie.
Exactly. They're referencing that movie, yeah. And there's a lot of back and forth between the life of crime and expressing that life through the rap in the song Drug Dealers and Problems. Tolls, it's about selling drugs and sex trafficking. It's a lifestyle that comes with these choices that's just as sick as that movie, Devilz Rejectz. In this song, Ampichino says, money, power, sex, lies, attorneys, accountants, ex, etc., boats, trees, dope, speed, coke. He's just going on, but he's not gonna go broke. And how he was 14 when he first saw somebody smoking crack. In the song Rap Stars, the Jacka is chronicling his experiences with drugs and selling sex in elementary school and middle school. Sometimes they're taking a celebratory approach, saying they just want to live large. You know, the song Take It Easy, especially, they're making themselves feel big by speaking about women specifically as if they're at their feet.
You have interludes 1 and 2. Straight puts the U.S. government and CIA on blast, sampling news clips, speeches, and more on crack cocaine being pumped in the neighborhoods. Again, shout out COINTELPRO. Making wider connections, but even bigger, more sinister connections. You got the song Break 'Em Off, which follows, and Jacka says, kids will never know that I supply coke smokers. That's what I tell myself, but it really ain't hard to notice. The song Mystery gets more deeply into that as well. Jacka says he was born in Brazilian favelas. They reference death and gun violence very vividly and connect it back to how they grew up. Reminds me also of the movie City of God.
See that if you haven't. It is crazy.
The album gets much more contemplative in songs like Lifetime. Jacka says he's brainwashed. Stars, he says they were slaves to the paper and the drugs. Amp in the same song, talking about real stories for young boys and girls and family dynamics in the projects. Hella deep. And in Try gets more into how Ampichino grew up and seeing money make real immediate material changes, but also how it changes your life, your availability to your family, and your heart.
Not just the money changing your heart, but the ways in which they're making money, the lifestyles come with so much more. There is a price that they are paying to live this sort of life. And they're aware of that. And so it's a very interesting project. Again, they have the song Drug Dealers. They have the song Rap Stars, right? They're making music for the drug dealers who make music and the rap stars who rap stars. The gangsters gangster.
This is big facts.
Yeah.
Both of these gentlemen grew up in the struggle. Jacka, for example, his dad wasn't really around. He had to become the man of the house at like age 14. By the time he was 18, he already caught his first charge and he was already going to jail. And after you get a charge, especially like if it's a big charge, it's hard to come back from that life. And in this project, they really exemplify the positive and the negative aspects of living that lifestyle. Because ain't nobody really gonna allow their parents not to eat. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they talk about times where they are actually selling to people's parents, even though they might not like that. You know what I'm saying?
Or their own grandparents or parents being addicted and the pain of seeing that.
Exactly.
It gets very vivid.
It does.
And if you want to understand somebody in this life, listen to the music. They were representing that in this project. It wasn't just all the ratchetness and the badness. There are our favorite songs. One of mine is Try. It's like taking me to church. I can feel the desperation and it makes me cry, but it's also a song to encourage. The person singing is pep talking themselves up, is encouraging themselves to go for what they need and what they want and their visions, their greater visions than what's right in front of them. And they proclaim it. I cannot lose. And obviously I have more favorite songs, but they're also his and our collective. So go ahead and speak on your favorite song.
One of my favorites is the song Stars. The imagery, the references, that line between doing what seems to be big things, but not actually being free. When they say together, I grab the AK and break it apart. And Amp ends the verse saying, this ain't life, this ain't living, but I'm free. That is powerful. And the melody and the essence of the sound of the music in that song is very haunting. You know what I'm saying? But they're talking about being stars. They're talking about this lifestyle And again, going back to some of the negative aspects that this lifestyle leads, a lot of times we hear about how this lifestyle is glorified. We don't always hear about the dark side, the side of it that hurts. But in this song, Stars, they talking about those things that actually hurt them and that affect them deep down, about the things that they've done and the things that they do so that they can survive and so that the people that they love can survive as well. And speaking of people that they love, our other collective favorite is the song Family First.
It's a slap, much more hardcore. I mean, they're talking about how far they're willing to go for their family. And anybody who has a father, uncle, brother, cousin, grandpa who will do these things and say these things for them, it's going to be a good feeling on the other side of that for sure.
Speaking of feelings, if you are feeling this album, you should also check out our honorable mention, Husalah. Hustling since the 80s.
Yee, my figures. P-World, P-World, P-World. This is a side note. The brotherhood, friendship that they display, that the Jacka lived in his life to do a collaborative project like this with another brother, to be running with Husalah the way he did, and so on and so forth. It's just all a beautiful, unspoken, clear display of friendship, brotherhood. It's beautiful. And maybe we can talk about that on some of our IG lives. So make sure you follow us on Instagram for our Topic Tuesdays, Freebie Fridays. We're giving away some merch to folks who like and comment on this video, as well as join us on IG Live. Links to today's albums popping below. Comment your favorite song. How are you feeling about all of this? It's a lot of content to digest and take in, especially at a time like this. And you live by it, you die by it. Unfortunately, a lot of times, R.I.P. and much love to the Jacka.
R.I.P. man. Rest in paradise, rest in power, my brother. There's too many of our brothers and our sisters being killed in general. And the bottom line is that it needs to stop. And that we are the ones that can stop it. Peace.
Niggas from the hood never die old. I'm staring at this world through a blindfold. This ain't about money, about business. I sacrificed my life to bring back my friends.